Welcome back to Money Matters. As I said before, we're here with Ms. Natalie Holder from the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Okay, Natalie, can you tell us a little bit about the role of the legal department at the credit union and also the services that the department offers?
All right. The legal department provides internal services to the board of directors, the top departmental heads, to make sure that we are operating within the regulations and the rules which govern our operations. And from time to time, if we have challenges of a legal nature, that is my role as well. And we also offer an external service, legal service to our members, if they so choose, in the preparation of mortgages, land loans. We also prepare the legal documentation related to powers of attorneys, bills of sale, and mortgages themselves. And we also offer a will service. A will preparation service.
That's quite a lot. And this service is only offered to members of the credit union?
Yes, it is offered to members of the credit union.
Okay. So you mentioned a bill of sale. Mm-hmm. What exactly is a bill of sale and why is it needed?
Normally a bill of sale is taken over what we term chattels.
Right. Normally
vehicles. It can be anything that is worth value, that is movable, anything except land. All right?
Okay.
And we even do for furniture and in some instances for our members. But what that is, it's a charge or lien on the asset that is offered for the loan. And it is similar to a mortgage. It just outlines your roles and responsibilities and the lender's roles and responsibilities in terms of the management of that loan and the safekeeping and maintenance of the asset.
So basically, it is like a security document.
Yes,
like
it is a security
if I'm getting
document.
a loan and I want to buy a car, the car is held under a bill of sale. That's what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's say I just purchased the vehicle. Mm-hmm. How long would it take to have the bill of sale put in place?
Well, we would aim to see if we can get it within 3 days. What we do on like some lenders, we actually do a search on the vehicle. That is something that people omit, and sometimes they can find later to the detriment that it is already encumbered with another financial institution or there is some other issue. So we do a vehicle search where we search to make sure there's no encumbrance, and we also look at the history of the vehicle to see its accident history, that kind of thing, that you're getting a vehicle and not something that's just mishmashed and put together.
Right. Something I always wondered, what's the prevalence of finding vehicles that already have a lien on them from another lender?
Surprisingly, well, we don't get it often because we do the search.
Right.
All right, but it can be fairly a fairly common incident.
Okay. So what other types of security would the credit union accept?
All right. As I said at the start of the discussion, we take shares. We can take insurance policies. The cash surrender value of insurance policies. We also take land. We take the bill of sales, the vehicles, the furniture, the boats and things like that, with a certain reservations. Huh?
Right.
But almost anything, once it has value and it can be resold, if we need to have it resold, we will take a look at it in terms of security.
How reliable, I don't know if you might be able to speak on this or not, but how reliable in terms of recouping your funds would it be if you took a bill of sale over someone's furniture?
Well, the credit union is really there to try to help its members, all right? There will be some instances where we realize that what we are taking may be tantamount to an unsecured loan.
Yes.
But it is more for comfort and to give the member the impression or the knowledge that this is not a free loan, and there is, if you don't pay, there is something that we can move against. And let's face it, people would hopefully want to keep their furniture.
Hopefully.
And the type of furniture that they have, it may be mahogany, it may be whatever, that may be moral suasion.
Okay.
But it is what it is.
So in a case like that, would it be fair to say that the credit union owns the chattel or the security?
No, we have a lien on it or a charge.
Okay.
Right? And when you sign the document with us, you acknowledge that should you not pay, should you not meet the certain obligations that we have the right to take that chattel and resell it to realize our security.
Okay, understood. So what exactly is the legal definition of a mortgage?
A mortgage is a lien or charge which is evidenced by a contract which the borrower will sign with the lender, and the mortgage outlines the terms and conditions of the lending and imposes certain obligations on the borrower to make sure that the security is secured and that the loan is repaid as agreed.
So I've often heard mortgages being associated with something called a debenture. Can you explain what a debenture is?
Well, you would see a debenture more in terms of a company which has assets,
Right.
all right? And it is simply a company mortgage, but it is called a debenture, and it can be extensive. It can be over assets that the company actually has in terms of land, all right, or stock in trade, that kind of thing.
Right.
It can be a floating charge. It's there, and it only crystallizes when something goes wrong. But normally, a debenture will take a fixed charge over the land that's existing, and it would be floating over any other assets that the company may have.
Have you ever seen an instance where you take a debenture over, as you just said, the stock of a company? So let's say it's a distribution company and it distributes stock to like various supermarkets. Have you ever seen a case where you hold a debenture over a company's stock and then something goes wrong and you have to take their merchandise?
Well, I believe other lenders may have that experience. We normally deal with members, okay, individuals. And when we do lend to companies, it is secured by a mortgage. We don't normally take a debenture. So that's a very rare thing for. I don't think I've ever seen it in the 11 years I've been with the credit union.
Okay. So what are some of the most common issues that may occur when the mortgage process gets to your legal department?
Lack of title. You cannot charge what you don't own. And sometimes people don't understand that because you've been living on a piece of land for umpteen years, and your grandmother and your grandfather, that does not convey legal title. Sometimes land may have been conveyed by a will. It has to be probated, and after the probate, there actually has to be an assent, which is a legal transfer of the interest in the property to the beneficiary. That's similar to a conveyance. So we see a lot of that. Sometimes documents are missing, misplaced, and we need to have something physical to secure our lending by. Sometimes insurance issues. People don't see the need for insurance, especially life insurance, sometimes even property insurance. But as a lender, we have to make sure that we cover all of these bases because we are really on lending the monies of other members. So we have to try and secure our lending as best as we can. And things like life insurance, it is not, while it benefits the lender, it also benefits you. If you are the main income earner and you should pass, you don't want to saddle your wife or your children who will be minors with paying a mortgage. How are they going to do that?
Exactly.
If you have insurance, at least the entire thing can be paid, or a significant amount of it can be repaid, and then we can work with the survivors, hopefully, who have some income, and we can work it out that way.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
In addition to, we will insist on some form of life insurance, and that is ready for the protection of the beneficiaries of the borrower. You can have two forms of life insurance, which can be term or permanent insurance, which is more commonly known as probably whole life insurance.
Okay.
Another difficulty we do see quite often is married couples or couples who live together in a common law union, one person coming forward, normally the female, and when you say to them that because of the law as it stands, we have to ask a partner either to be a surety or a co-mortgagor on the mortgage, we do get some resistance. Sometimes I hear a lady saying, but I don't want him to know about this. But the law is that potentially these people, if they're your spouse, legal spouse, husband or wife, or your common law spouse, can potentially have an interest in the property. We don't know what your life is like in terms of your financial arrangements, and we don't want to get involved. So we simply say, this person has to know, and this person has to be a party as well. All right, so that there is no possibility, should we have to enforce the security of somebody saying, I have an interest in this and I had no idea at all that this was happening. In the equitable law may step in and say, well, too bad for you. You should have done your searches. You should have made sure that if there's a party here, that that party knows and agreed to you taking an encumbrance over this property.
You mentioned a little while back when we were speaking about the marriages and the unions,
Yeah.
that you would normally see the woman coming forward as opposed to the man.
Yes.
Do you have any idea as to why there's that distinction?
I really can't tell you. I think that women probably are the nurturers and they have the children and they want some place to put their children, and I don't want to arouse men's anger against me or anything like that, but I think that women think more long term, and long term in terms of properties, investments, while some men tend to like gadgets and things of that nature.
Okay,
Cars.
we're going down a rabbit hole right now, so that sounds like a subject for a whole other discussion.
Yes, that's exactly. I'd like to also explain the difference between the common law union and the legal union.
Right.
A legal union is where you get married, all right, and you go through before the magistrate or in the church. A common law union, because that has been a feature of Barbadian life for so long,
Yeah.
the law has taken cognizance of it. So where you've been living together with a person, virtually as man and wife without the legal paper, they take cognizance of that, and rights accrue just like it would accrue to your husband or wife.
Yeah, okay, understood. Because if you've been living with someone so long and depending on them, like
And
financially.
you would have been an economic unit as well.
Right.
Marriage is an economic contract.
Yeah, it sure is.
It is an economic contract, a financial contract. So likewise, the common law union is treated the same way.
Okay, we're going to take a short commercial break with Kick Energy Drink and Clayton's Cola Tonic, and we'll be back with more Money Matters.